CBS 12 News starts now with breaking news.
And good evening to you. I'm Paul Mueller. As we come on the air tonight, we're following breaking news coming out of West Palm Beach. An accident sending a car into a canal. All of this happening near 45th Street and North Congress Avenue just before 3 this afternoon. Here's the scene right here. The crash leaving one car submerged in the West Canal. This is just south, as I said, of 45th Street. The driver pulled out, witnesses telling us, by two Good Samaritans. They also say one doctor just happened to be across the street and ran to the scene and performed CPR until first responders arrived and took him to the hospital. Take a listen now to the witness who watched as these Good Samaritans pulled the man out of the water.
I thank God for those two men and that doctor, because he's the one that performed CPR on him, and if they weren't there, they didn't get here when they did, that man would not be here.
Right now, we are working to find out the man's identity and his condition. At last check, we're told north and southbound Congress Avenue closed until further notice. If you have any information on the case, West Palm Beach Police want to hear from you. Of course, we will continue to track this breaking news and bring you the very latest on the driver and how all of this managed to happen. That's tonight on CBS 12 News at 11. We're also tracking a breaking news update right now out of Jacksonville tonight. 3 people shot following a high school football game happening last night left one person dead. Jacksonville police confirming a short time ago a 19-year-old man is dead and 2 underage teens are expected to survive. Now, so far, police say the 2 men shot were at the game together, and they say they were direct targets. However, the teen girl was hit by a stray bullet and was not with those 2 men. Investigators say the men are known to have ties to known criminal street gang members. Police have yet to release a motive. And that shooting, of course, hitting close to home, coming just 1 week after 2 people were shot during a football game at Palm Beach Central High School. Of course, in the wake of the shooting, school officials have increased security and taken other security precautions at the games. And right now, Palm Beach Central players have just taken to the gridiron for the first time since these changes. The Broncos up against the Soaring Eagles of Atlantic Community High School in Delray Beach, and that is where we find CBS 12's Nyala Charles right now. And Nyala, the big question, I guess, how are people there reacting to these changes?
Well, Paul, some parents and students say they aren't happy with the changes because it takes away from the Friday Night Lights tradition. So obviously today the atmosphere is a little bit different than usual, but the school district says games are starting earlier to take advantage of the daylight hours. The crowd is noticeably thinner at this game, and that's what critics are scared of. Even though it's an away game, Palm Beach Central does have more people here than Atlantic. Many people here like the new changes that include no re-entry, bag restrictions, and increased security, especially the people who were there last week when shots rang out.
I'm thrilled, honestly. I just got totally body scanned, no bags.
Some people have expressed frustration with having to go through metal detectors, but many people here say the safety is worth the inconvenience. So far, the district hasn't determined how long these changes will last. It says it's trying to work with staffing to see if this can be a long-term solution. Reporting live from Atlantic Community High School, Nyala Charles, CBS 12 News.
And we'll see if those security changes make any difference. Nyala, thank you so much. Okay, turning now to your weather, a bit on the cloudy side today with some of you getting some showers. So let's get right to CBS 12 Storm Track meteorologist Michael Ehrenberg to break it down for us. Michael, I can see the radar behind you all lit up.
Yeah, all lit up. Some parts of the Treasure Coast right now, Paul, getting some shower activity. In fact, some thunderstorms moving through parts of Martin County, up Cantor Highway and the Indiantown area. These storms moving into Cana and shortly at 6:16, Zana at 6:24. Get ready for some downpours and lightning for those of you in Marcy at 6:30. Those small communities out there near Lake Okeechobee. Right now, West Palm Beach, it's 84. The high today only 89, so yes, slightly cooler than what we normally get. Winds are south at 6, but boy, you combine that temperature with a 65% humidity, feels like 89 out there. And there will be some spotty showers and random storms you can see on the hour-by-hour forecast throughout the evening hours, but most of us not getting it. And then late tonight, there could be a couple of coastal showers working their way back inland. Coming up in moments, slightly drier air working into the region. We'll talk about that. Track your hour-by-hour showers tomorrow, and we're tracking the tropics for you as well.
Like in that drier air, Michael, thank you so much. We turn to an update tonight in an undercover investigation that caused chaos for hours last night in West Palm Beach. And tonight, Ronnie Williams Jr. behind bars after officials say he opened fire during an undercover mission and police chase. The scene you can see right there. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office says a detective and another deputy from Martin County were undercover when that suspect rammed into their unmarked van here on 45th Street and North Point Boulevard. All of that leading to a deputy-involved shooting. The suspect took off, but deputies were able to arrest him less than a mile away. More gunfire erupting in a neighborhood in Delray Beach. That left one man dead. Police telling us Jermaine Smith died after being shot, happening here on Northwest 6th Avenue late last night. First responders took Smith to Delray Medical Center. That's where he was pronounced dead. Right now, we're working to find out more details on the case, like a possible suspect and motive. More to come tonight on CBS 12 News at 11. And this shooting happening in the same area where a longtime family feud dating back nearly a decade has led to 46 shootings, 5 of them deadly. Police telling us a 10-year-old boy was a victim of the feud. That happening just last month. An update now on last night's breaking news as St. Lucie County's investigators are asking for your help after finding a woman's body in a ditch along a rural road in St. Lucie County. Now, late last night, officials identified the body as 23-year-old Tania Wise of Port St. Lucie. There she is. A passerby spotted the body late yesterday morning. Investigators say Wise lived with her family, and right now they are searching for a possible suspect and motive. If you have any information, you're urged to call the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office. And now, the algae emergency, a new effort to mechanically remove potentially toxic algae. Many say it comes at just the right time, and here's why. A handful of new beach closures now in effect as more and more blue-green algae is filling up the St. Lucie River. Right now, here's the map. Jensen, Stewart, and Bathtub Reef beaches all closed to swimming. And there's no word on right now when they will reopen. CBS 12's Andrea Marvin on the Treasure Coast, where the algae crisis is bringing back memories of other toxic algae blooms. Right now.
Swimmers are being told to stay out of the water, but people are allowed to be on the sand. You can see there are a couple of fishermen out here. They tell us they're not worried about the situation and didn't see any signage before they started fishing. But to give you an idea, some of the sightings have been about 50 yards offshore. Bathtub Beach, Stewart, and Jensen Beach in Martin County are currently closed because of the blue-green algae in the water. Now, beaches with lifeguards will be flying red flags indicating that they are closed for swimming, so you're going to want to look for that. Now, if you remember, algae blooms during the summer of 2016 did close Bathtub, Stewart, and Jensen Beach as well. Now, beachers should call the county's beach hotline at 772-320-3112 to check for any beach updates this weekend. But as of today, we have not seen any people out in the water here in Stewart. In Stewart, Andrea Marvin, CBS 12 News.
The Army Corps of Engineers increased the number of discharges on Friday morning by about 200 million gallons a day. To give you some perspective on this, that is an average of nearly 1 billion gallons a day. Well, it is considered to be one of the most important governor's races right here in Florida, but there's a whole lot more on Tuesday's primary ballot, like possible pay raises for Martin County teachers. And we'll tell you the last county in our area where you can still vote early.
You're watching CBS 12 News at 6.
Marching for teacher pay raises. That's why parents and educators are now urging voters to mark yes on the primary election ballot next week on a proposal that would give public school teachers in Martin County a pay raise. Tonight, CBS 12's Andrea Marvin spoke to educators about how urgent the need is as veteran teachers are leaving to find jobs elsewhere. It's all new tonight.
Voters will have a say on the ballot on whether to raise property taxes to give teachers a boost in pay.
I think teachers are feeling, frustrated. We try to do our best. Melissa Torsha is an elementary school teacher within the Martin County School District, but she and her colleagues are tired of working hard for little pay. So today they are marching, advocating for change.
A lot of veteran teachers, are leaving, for better opportunities, and it's, it's sad to see them go.
The Florida Department of Education shows on average, Palm Beach County Schools pays its teachers about $5,000 more than Martin County.
Yes, teaching is very rewarding, but also, we want to focus on teaching and not, have to have a second job to support our families.
Voters will have a say on a ballot issue that will ask to raise property taxes. Most of the bump will go towards teacher pay raises. And if passed, the tax would cost 50 cents for every 1,000 of a property's assessed value.
Maybe we could just get them to see that the vote is important.
To show the need, dozens held signs on the Roosevelt Bridge in Stuart urging people to vote yes. Some honked as they drove by. Jason Flannery is a parent and realtor and says the increase would be worth the investment.
Everybody that comes in town always asks, what are the schools? What are the ratings? So that's a big thing for us.
The children are our future. You're voting, you're funding our future. We need this millage to pass.
Andrea Marvin, CBS 12 News.
And more on your Florida primary, which is just 3 days away. That proposed property tax Andrew just talked about is just one of many issues in which voters will have a say. Early voting has now come to an end in Martin, St. Lucie, Okeechobee, and Indian River counties. If you live in Palm Beach County, though, you still have one more day. Hawaii gets hit. How Tropical Storm Lane is still, look at that, battering the islands. Michael.
And Paul, we've been getting battered with some showers and downpours here across South Florida. More to come for parts of the area this evening. We'll track where these showers and storms will go, and I'll have tomorrow's hour-by-hour forecast coming up.
Treasure and Space Coast radio stations, proud partners of the CBS 12 News Network, the one to turn to.
You're watching CBS 12 News at 6.
And right now we are taking a live look at Hawaii as Lane has now been downgraded to a tropical storm. The National Weather Service issuing a flash flood warning for several areas there. Officials also say all airlines are now operating normal schedules. Meantime, look at this flooding video here from inside a house on the Big Island. Yeah, Honolulu's mayor warning residents not to let their guard down as Lane continues to weaken as it moves out into the Pacific. All right, Michael Ehrenberg is here now to discuss our local weather, but we talk about Lane and I remember the radar image and the satellite image, and we also talked about, these isolated 30 to 40 inches of rain, I believe. Did that actually happen?
Yeah, it's amazing. Some parts did get about 30 to 36 inches of rainfall because it was so slow moving. Now, the good news about Lane is it was a Category 5, remember, 3 days ago, and it just weakened really quickly as it moved towards Hawaii with all the wind shear. So no real big wind damage, a little bit, but boy, they really did dodge a bullet.
They did.
But still, a lot of flooding going on because of the heavy rains, flash floods, mudslides, and of course with the volcanoes, it's a mess there. But fortunately, as you can see, it's a lot weaker than it was just a couple days ago. It will continue to move to the west and northwest and continue to weaken out there over the Pacific over the next few days. Meanwhile, as far as our local weather is concerned, a lot of clouds out there today, and some of you still getting some showers and downpours right now. Hello to you there in western Martin County, Indiantown, some downpour activity. Palm Beach County, fairly quiet, just kind of overcast. Jupiter down to Boynton and Boca with just a random shower here or there. Hey, if you're going to the Jeff Beck and Paul Rogers concert tonight at Coral Sky Amphitheater, look for just lots of clouds, maybe a random shower. That's it, with skies clearing out later this evening. Temperatures slowly dropping on down through the lower 80s. So hour by hour, we do see, again, a few showers are 7 o'clock. Not that much, but overnight tonight, late tonight, that coastal flow could bring in some more spotty showers. Quiets down for the late night period. Tomorrow morning, mid-morning, a random coastal shower with an east-southeast flow. There's noon. And look at this, not that much, nothing really strong going on. Storms during the mid to late part of the day will be inland from Lake Okeechobee on out west, where the coast is staying kind of partly to mostly cloudy like what we're having right now. High temperatures tomorrow, same kind of thing. Boca to Lake Worth, 90 to 91. West Palm, your high 91 tomorrow, 93 in the Farms of Royal Palm. A few degrees warmer away from that slightly cooler Atlantic water. Stuart, your high 91 tomorrow. Port St. Lucie will check in with 93 degrees. Add in the humidity, feels like temperatures sweltering as always, right? We're used to this by now. We're near 100 or even higher for parts of the CBS 12 viewing area. So a bit of drier air works in tomorrow with lower rain chances and then normal modest amounts of moisture for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The models are indicating perhaps a tropical wave coming into the area for Friday, Saturday. Look at all this red, deep tropical moisture surging back in. So the rain chances will correspond. 30% tomorrow, 40% Monday, Tuesday, 50% Wednesday, Thursday. The theme here, increasing storm chances with the best chance at the end of the week with that tropical wave coming to the region. All right, speaking of the tropics, continues to stay fairly quiet. If you were with us the last couple of days, we were following something coming off of the African coast. Well, it's done that, but there's a lot of wind shear and dry air here. No development expected during at least the next 5 days. And again, there's a dry air. We'll keep you posted. Of course, the peak of hurricane season is just a few weeks away. So forecast as we go through the late evening and overnight, we are looking at skies partly to mostly cloudy out there. Again, that chance for a little shower here or there with low temperatures by morning getting on down into the mid to upper 70s. For tomorrow, we're looking at some morning sunshine to start. Spotty morning shower, coastal afternoon storm, but again, that will continue to move inland with a high temperature tomorrow right about 90 degrees. 7-day forecast for your weekends always in view. Theme here, increasing rain chances throughout the week with the high storm chances coming next Friday and Saturday. An update for you tonight at 11. We'll see you then.
Steamy Sunday, Michael. Thank you so much. Well, preseason football in full effect. John Evanson with a sneak peek right now.
I'm John Evanson at Hard Rock Stadium, where the Dolphins and Ravens are getting ready for preseason game number 3 tonight. You can watch it on CBS 12. We'll have a preview coming up.
CBS 12 News outerwear is provided by Under Armour. Now, the South Florida Honda Sports Report.
The Miami Dolphins getting ready for their biggest preseason test of the season, hosting the Baltimore Ravens tonight. And it is a game you can watch right here only on CBS 12. John Evanson is at Hard Rock Stadium right now, where the first team players should see lots of action tonight.
That's right. Game 3 of the NFL preseason is traditionally where you get the most accurate assessment of where your team is at heading into the early season. As we look over here, you can see the Dolphins, some of them already warming up. Most of the first teamers should play most of the first half tonight, if not the entire first half. But behind me here, we have the Baltimore Ravens, which leads me to this. We could get to see former Boynton Beach star and Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson play the backup quarterback role tonight. In fact, expect him to play, so that'll be interesting to look at. And don't forget, this is a team who beat the Dolphins 40-0 last season. The Dolphins are hoping to take care of that goose egg on the scoreboard early tonight. Ryan Tannehill and the first-team offense has not scored one preseason touchdown in 5 series. Mistakes and bad penalties have been stalling drives.
It's coming down to cleaning up the details. It's like those little tiny things that, big picture-wise, you see something negative happen, and then when you go back and watch film and you start correcting and you really get encouraged because you're going, we can fix this.
Still installing some new things, still trying to master a few things, so I have a lot of work to do, but I feel like we're trending in the right direction.
The new look offensive line will be worth a long look tonight. The Dolphins signed veteran left guard Josh Sitton in the offseason and traded for center Daniel Kilgore. And so far, not one sack on Tannehill.
Offensive-wise, we've got everything in. It's just more working with your technique and getting conditioned for the season. It's a long season.
He's doing a good job getting the ball out, but I also think he's got a lot of space. I don't know if he's really used to this. It's been, our guys up front have taken a lot of pride in making sure he hasn't got touched.
As far as the Dolphins' defense goes, we've seen some very positive things and some very troubling things over the first 2 preseason games. Robert Quinn has been a sack machine, while cornerback Xavier Howard has looked very impressive, but the run defense has left a lot to be desired. So expect Dolphin fans to maybe press the panic button if that continues tonight. Reporting from Hard Rock Stadium, John Evanson, CBS 12 Sports.
John with the assignment of the night. And you can watch each and every play tonight, again, only on CBS 12. Kickoff just about a half an hour away now, and coming up on CBS 12 News at 11, John will have your post-game covered with all the locker room interviews. All right, Michael is here with one final check of your weather.
Yeah, Paul, we still have some showers for parts of our area, namely those of you in Martin and St. Lucie County. A quick downpour here or there, nothing really too strong. And then we look for drier air tomorrow with a 30% chance for showers and storms, slowly increasing through the week, Paul.
All right, Michael, thank you so much. All right, remember the preseason game between the Ravens and the Dolphins kicks off at 7 o'clock right here on CBS 12. We will. We hope to see you right after the game at 11. Good night.